Okay, let's have a look now at some of the things that we can do. In fact, 4 things that we can do to start the conversation around debt with our family. Now, the first thing that I want you to think about is, what is our family philosophy on debt? What are the rules that we put around debt, so that you can start to talk to your kids about those? You need to have a foundation, a standpoint on debt to start with, so that you can share it consistently with your kids. Our kids, as I said before, they know that we do not do consumer debt as a family. It's as simple as that. They know that we don't do interest-free loans. They know that we don't do car loans. They know that we don't do credit card debt. They know that, and as a result, their minds are already thinking, okay, that means that I need to save for a car. They know that they need to have money in the bank before they buy anything. And that's just been over a couple of years or a few years now, of just drumming that message into them. So make sure that you know what your philosophy is and share it with your kids at every single opportunity. Now, in terms of opportunities, firstly, what I'd suggest you do is start looking for ads on the TV that talk about debt. You want to also look at any articles that come up about debt. You regularly see them in there about, someone that's got themselves into a whole lot of hot water with debt. Unfortunately, that's becoming more and more regular to see those in the news. It's worth sharing those with them and just talking about what it's done to this person's life. The other thing, of course, is we see the junk mail that comes in on a regular basis, and that's always talking about interest-free loans and those sorts of things. So please take any opportunity you get to talk to the kids about how what's happening in those articles or in those ads fits with your philosophy. Just so that you know too, in the notes below, I've put some links to some videos for those payday loans that are going around. The ads themselves are quite funny, but the actual loan products themselves are very, very far from funny. So yeah, it's a good chance to talk to them about those sorts of things and show them some funny ads. The third thing that I want you to do is to talk about, talk to your kids about your experiences with debt. If you've had debt in the past, if you've paid it off and if you've struggled with it, if you've still got debt, talk to the kids about it. Tell them what it feels like to be in debt. Tell them why you went in debt. Share the story with them so that they can relate to you, they can relate to debt, and they can relate, therefore, to the philosophies that you've got as a family. The fourth thing that I'd encourage you to do is, there's a mortgage calculator link down below. Take the kids to that mortgage calculator and just get them to have a play with it. Put in how much your mortgage is, put in what your interest rate is, so that they can see the amortization schedule, which shows what your payments are on a monthly basis, how much of that's interest, how much of that's principal. Get them to change the interest rates, get them to change the loan terms, so they can see the consequences of each of those changes. What is really important here is that they understand that when you borrow money, there is a consequence for borrowing it, and that is the interest. The interest that you pay the bank for the privilege of borrowing that money in the first place. When you play with a calculator like that, they can see how much the interest is on a monthly basis, but they can also see how much interest you're going to pay over the life of the loan, and it's a pretty scary figure. So again, helping them to understand that borrowing money doesn't actually mean that they get more. In fact, they end up with less because they've had to pay all that interest along the way. So there we go, 4 very simple things, but please, it starts with your philosophy. Know what your rules and your philosophies are around debt, and then share it with your kids.